good gosh darn evening to you. How are you, folks? Welcome to Tuesday. We like Tuesdays around here. We've got a good handle on them. It's good to see you. It's good to be seen by you, and I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Who am I? Why, I am Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver, and I hope you're having a wonderful evening. So far, mine's pretty good. Hanging out with you guys. No complaints thusly. And folks, please, if you are, greetings, Ardu, Luther, Damien. If this is your first time stopping by, please consider clicking that subscription button and the bell icon for notifications. That's super helpful. And if you like what you see during the live stream, give it a thumbs up. Tell us in the comments what you liked. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down and tell us what you didn't like, and we'll try to fix it and make it better for you. Because that's what I do. I do this 5 nights a week, and I do it for you guys. I put it all out there. Old school style. Who else does it? Nobody. Just me, baby. But anyhow, guess what? This live stream is brought to you by our friends over at Hellebarde Games, and Hellebarde Games makes the kinds of modules that they'd like to play, whether for Castles and Crusades, old school, 5th edition, old school rules are in play at the table with Hellebarde Games, and you can find them at their website, hellebardegames.com, or on Drive-Thru RPG. That's Hellebarde Games. First time with you with Led Zeppelin shirt. That's right, man. The mothership. Love me some Led Zeppelin. Oh, that's nice, Ardu. Well, you know what? I think we're all friends here. We're all part of a big family. You know, we're on this ship sailing forward. We're at 4255 on the old sub counter. At least I hope we're at 4255. It's been kind of bouncing up and down, but that's all good. I get it. You know, people come and they go and they come back in and that sort of thing. All the figs in the background. Yep. Those are my miniatures. So let me tell you what, that 4255, that is pretty good, but I'm going to tell you something. We're going to have the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention 2. That's number 2 in June. Okay. Now we're gonna have we're gonna have the show anniversary in April. I can't cram it in between now and the end of this month, so it'll likely be the first week of April. We're gonna have the show anniversary, but in June we're going to have the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. Between now and then, if I reach 5,000 subscriptions, I will raffle off. They're not going to go to the 5,000th person to subscribe or anything like that. It's going to be a drawing you can enter, and the winner there'll be 2 winners. I will draw 2 names. The winners, one winner, probably the first one I draw, will receive a premium color print copy of the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Dungeon Master's Guide, the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook, and the Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Monster Manual, of course, all first edition. The other winner that I draw will receive a bespoke bound copy of original Dungeons & Dragons. That's Men in Magic, Monsters and Treasures, The Underworld and Wilderness Adventures. So that is coming if by the Greyhawk, Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, we hit 5,000 subs on this channel. You met Robert Plant at a party. He had read your ballads. That is phenomenal, Drone Swarm. That is just phenomenal. That's great. Well, the names for drawing go in one of the wizard's hat. I will I will probably use a software solution just to make it simple, because 5,000 slips of paper in the hats would just be crazy. But I'll make a show of it. Don't worry. I'll make it a flourish. I want one simple trick. YouTube hates this one. What is it, Ardu? What is the one simple trick? We won't go off half guacked. Don't worry. Oh, that's neat, John Walker. Guac, great underground online gaming convention. Keep the shorts. I wasn't planning on taking them off. It gets a little warm back here, but not that warm. Tonka clones to 5,000. Roll a D5,000. No, I will set up a raffle website. Here's the thing. I won't do it like at the con. I will announce, like, if we hit the 5,000. Well, okay, let's say hypothetically, I get up Monday and we've got 5,001 subs and it stays there, right? Stays at 5,001 just consistently, or 5,000, and it stays, because if it's like 5,000, no, it's 4,975, 25 people fucked off. Trucked off is what I said, YouTube. Greetings, Slade Wilson. AD&D reprints. Your brother stole the original. Darn them. But as long as you get a lock in on that 5,000, like if it happened Monday, I'd set up the drawing and then we'd have the drawing before then. But basically, any time before we wrap up on the last afternoon, evening, the last game is played at the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. So, we could go in minus 100, and if on Sunday afternoon or evening we kick over, then we do the drawing. Shorts made you reach 8.6K this week. You talking about like the 1 minute or less videos? Not saying it would be a long one. Can see the first village. Burn him. He's a demon. Vertical less than a minute. All right. Well, I'll look at that. 12 a guac shark. Event resurrection of no. Hey, Mobius. King on the Mountain, we will be drawing for a set of first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons hardback, the premium color reprints. And I will send them to you through DriveThruRPG. Basically, you'll give me your information and I will send them to you through DriveThruRPG. They'll basically be paid for, so you can then pick them up and tell DTRPG where to ship them and all that. Well, I'll give that a shot, Ardu. I'll try and come up with something. And then a bespoke original D&D rule booklet. Basically, it will be something like, let me see, have I got one to hand? No, that's supplements. It'll be something like this. This is all three OD&D books. I'm not saying this will be the exact one you get, but this is Men and Magic, Monsters and Treasures, and the Underworld and Wilderness Adventures, and it's OD&D, original Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want a shot at this, if you want to see, hey, can I get an OD&D set sent to me or a set of AD&D hardbacks, then go out there and beat the bushes and say, please, please, please subscribe to Bill Sylvie's YouTube channel, The Dungeon Delver, because he's kicking old school stuff out. I'm spitting the old school knowledge 5 nights a week, guys. 5 nights a week. Tommy Dye, greetings. Not the Blue Book Drone Swarm. This is, like I said, it'll be a bespoke binding of OD&D. I'll have to send the PDFs to Lulu or someplace like that and get them bound in a single volume for you. Well, not for you specifically, Drone Swarm, but someone. Maybe Dungeon Minister will enter and win, and he'll get AD&D books, and then he'll know. He'll join us. His congregation will know something's gone off the rails the week after he goes, because they'll go in and he'll be wearing a mitre and a collar and doing the sermon in Latin. So that's a thing. That's a thing that's coming up. By the way, I just want to point something out. I got busy the last couple of days. More content is coming on the back half of the week, by the way. Probably a couple shorts because Ardu says that's the best way to do it, but also some actual content, some Tales of Glory, some Tales of Tabletop Triumph is coming tomorrow night. Kyle returneth, and we will play the final episode of Classic Traveler. What's going to happen to our characters? I don't know. Yes, Luther, we are reading more of The Dragon tonight. We're getting there. I promise. Thursday night, we'll have a guest. That's right. We are going to have a guest here. Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm just answering a mail. Hang on a second. Oh, we're going to be talking to Stephen from Gripnir Games about the Glimmering, which is a fairly adaptable 5e thing they've got going on, but it looks pretty interesting, and I think some of you guys might be interested in that. I haven't talked to Rob in a long time. Rob is he's in France now. I don't know how we could do that so he wouldn't have to be up at 3:00 in the morning, or I wouldn't have to do my live stream at 9:00 in the morning. We could do it. Those OD&D streams were the first D&D streams you watched. Very cool. So that's going to be on Thursday. And then Friday, of course, you know how we do. You know what we do. Friday, little preamble ramble. and then some classic Gamma World. Yes. My 24-hour stream, that's in April. But I'll see if Rob's available for that. How did the Mount Rushmore of iconic D&D monsters get established? I don't know. The Beholder he's all of them. He is all of them. All right. So speaking of this, because you guys are making a lot of noise about it, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm not being ugly about it. So many people have accused me of so many different things, but I promise, guys, I'm just me. I'm just me. Let's see. Let's find out where we need to be. And we'll jump right into Dragon Magazine number 2 because you guys are asking for it. If you need a painting guide for the Remoras, by the way, you're about to see one. Yeah, we don't want something that eats and throws and lives in poop. We don't want on Mount Rushmore. And imagine if Teddy wrote, no, you know what? Don't. So let's go ahead and jump right into this and look at this critter here. Written and illustrated, created by the one, the only Errol Otis. So let's share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen. I only have to click it 5 times now. This is the Remoras, one of the most unusual D&D monsters, and this is standard for original Dungeons and Dragons, by the way. This is statted for original D&D. The Remoras move 12 inches, hit dice 6, 10, 14, 8-sided dice. It's establishing not D6s because up to this point, it's been D6s. Errol is kind of breaking the law. Breaking the law, breaking the law, bow, bow. By saying it has 8-sided dice. Inlayer 20%, treasure type F, bite for 36, breathe for 3, 5, or 7 dice of fire damage. We can presume D6s. 75% magic resistance, low intelligence, and neutral. And there it is in all of its alien glory. The Remoras. So what did Errol have to say about it? 1976 illustration from Errol. 4K Minimaster, you made an episode, IRT, okay. It's establishing its dominance. Well, I mean, can a Remoras really T-pose, though, to do that? Number appearing 1 to 4 if in layer. Description, 30 feet long, blue-hued underneath, wings and head backed with red. Sounds like a old wives' tale. Wings of head backed by red, avoid or you'll be dead. Armor class, underside 4, back 0, plus special, head 2. The Remoras is probably the only fire-using creature that prefers the coldness of mountain areas, frozen wastes, etc. These monsters come in 3 sizes, as noted, with their percent chances of encountering each separate size. 1 to 40%, 6 dice. 41 to 75, 10 dice. 76 to 114 dice. The creature's unusual characteristic is that its back, from tip of tail to head, has reddish circular protrusions, rock-like in appearance, that are heated to enormous temperatures, thus melting any non-magical weapon upon striking the Remora's backside. The Remoras had a tendency to flap its earth-born wings when it is close to prey. As noted, it stalks the cool to cold extremities of the outdoors. For possible encounters, he may be placed alongside the Silver Dragon or on the encounter matrix in Eldritch Wizardry. And that's it. That's it. We get a little bit better in the monster manual. Do you guys want to see the monster manual entry just to compare? North of the Rockies, greetings. Drone Swarm wants to hear it. Well, that's enough for me. So, yes, with a DAT illustration. All right, let's go over and let's take a look. That's the player's handbook, you ding dong. There we go. Let us find the Remoraz and compare him to what he became in advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry for the scoliosis, guys. The Remoraz. Come on. Just scrolling up here. Salamander, Rot Grubs, Rust Monster, Roper, Rock, Remoraz. This is the AD&D Remoraz with the Dave A. Trampier illustration. He's all happy looking. Yay! It's picture day at school. They liked my smile the best. All right. Frequency, very rare. Number appearing 1. Armor class, overall 0, head 2, underside 4. So far, fairly normal to what it was. In layer, 20%. Treasure type F. Number of attacks 1. Damage per attack 6 to 36. Special attacks and defenses C below. Magic resistance, it's still 75% resistant from magic. You stand back with that magic wand of, oh, just magic missile the thing. Isn't this working? The hell isn't this working? Intelligence, animal. Alignment, neutral. Now it's not low, it's animal. It's only got an int of 1. Size, 21 to 42. So it's a large boy. He's a large boy. Johnny Long Torso. Remoraz, sometimes known as polar worms, inhabit only the chill wastes. They are very aggressive predators. If encountered in their lair, Remoraz is 25% likely to have a mate and 1 to 2 eggs there. The size of one of these creatures is determined by its hit dice. A 7-hit dice Remoraz is 21 feet long. An 8-die creature is 24, etc. Remoraz eggs are valued at 5,000 gold pieces each. You can't train it. What is the value? Do they make... It's like the frittatas. You wouldn't believe it. They're amazing. I'll just continue. In combat, the Remoraz beats its small wings and rears on the front quarter of its body. It then snaps itself forward, striking with blinding speed, and the largest size specimens are able to swallow prey whole in this manner. Any victim swallowed in this manner is instantly killed due to the intense heat in the monster's digestive system. Prey is swallowed whole on a score of 20. When aroused, the Remoraz secretes substances internally which cause its intestines to become very hot, and its back protrusions actually glow cherry red with the excess heat. Any non-magical weapon striking the back of Remoraz will melt from the heat, and any creature touched by these surfaces suffers, brace yourselves. Guys, hold your girls close. 10 to 100 points of damage. 10 to 100. 10 to 100. Oh. What's that, Kabuki kid? You bumped into the back of the Remoraz? Let's see. Well, there's 16, 18 points of damage. 12, that's another 15, so that's 33. There's 52, 60, 69. Nice. Points of damage. Poof. You're gone. Maybe Noble's mine. It's chitin to fire resistant non-metallic armor. Maybe. So yeah, the Remoras. Description: the Remoras has ice blue coloration everywhere except along its back, where its streak of white sets off the large protrusions. The creature's multifaceted eyes are white. So that's the difference, guys. Now let's hop back over to Dragon Magazine. We have a press release here. Venerable Destruction. This is from Richard Mataka press release. Venerable Destruction is a simple fantasy board game parody. By this, I mean the game cannot be taken as a serious war game, nor can it be taken as a serious fantasy game. What it is a giant combat classic. It's fun, simple, quick, and cannot be taken as a serious game in any context. Hey, guys. Guys, come here. Come here, lean in. I don't think Richard wants us to take this game very seriously. The rulebook for Venerable Destruction is only 4 pages in length. Out of these 4 pages, only 2 of them are devoted to the game itself. One of the other pages contains a drawing, which is the front cover of the game, while the other page deals with the introduction and background history of the planet Venerable. It is in this background history page you are given the entire premise for this game. The rules that are given here contain on the necessities. I think it's probably supposed to be all the necessities. There are a total of 8 sections in the rules. Each of these sections is devoted to a different rule and is written in a simple, easy to follow style. These 8 sections are movement, combat, stacking, special pieces, how to win, terrain, mercenary troops, and order of appearance. The special pieces rule is the longest rule in the game as it contains 8 short subsections. Each of these subsections deals with a different unit that you use in the game. The different units covered in this section are archers, rhino hordes, the magician Goodwin, scouts, barges and junks, slaves, and the court and the Khan. As you can see, even though the game is simple, you do have a variety of units to be used in the game. Venerable Destruction was designed just to be just a fun game and nothing more. For those of you who are always serious-minded gamers or who only game with a purpose in mind to stay away from this game, it was only meant to be fun and cause laughs and enjoyment. After all, with titles and counters such as Sycophant, Rhino Hordes, Lowest of the Low, El Duce, and El Tanche, who can help but laugh? Game comes wrapped in clear plastic with map die-cut counters, rulebook, and is available from Excalibur Games Incorporated, 5880 3rd Avenue, Apartment 108, Minneapolis, 55429, and retails for $5.95. Anyone ever hear of it? Anyone ever play it? Star Command. I don't think this is the same Star Command that came out for computers about 20 years after this. Take care, Dungeon Minister. Hope you feel better. Star Command is a miniature rulebook for fighting tactical space combat in the 22nd century. With the aid of this rule book, players can fight any type of battle they wish with the type of units that are outlined in this book. The rule book begins with a short history of the events that are occurring at the time in history. Here also, we are given the basis of the spacecraft technology that is used in the game. All in all, the beginning sections outlines the history and tactics used by mankind against the non-human race. In Star Command 1, factor of acceleration is 10 gravities. 1 centimeter equals 18,000 kilometers, and each turn of play is equivalent to 10 minutes of real time. This is the basis of the game that we are going to play. In the next section, we begin learning the rules that we are going to use in the game. First, we are given the sequence of play. Each turn sequence consists of 4 phases, each of which is followed from turn to turn until the end of the game. These phases are writing orders, moving spacecraft, measuring range to target, and then determining the hit strengths and recording damage. Following this, we have the movement rules. There are basically 2 different types of movement systems used in this game. Each system is covered in its own section with examples showing how the movement system works. The 2 types of movement systems we use are gravitic drive and hyperdrive movement. Each type of movement system has a different effect on the type of tactics. Whew. Starfire was a game by a company called Exidy. They produced many fun arcade games through the 70s and 80s, and they even had a short-lived home computer called the Exidy Sorcerer. The Exidy Sorcerer was, I believe it was a Zilog Z80-based machine that initially came with 4 kilobytes of RAM, although you could spend an extra $1,000 and get 16 kilobytes of RAM. It was notable in that its ROMs were loaded by cartridge. However, the guys at Exidy knew they could get a deal from a company that made cartridge cases, but they would make them cartridge cases, but that company also made the plastic shells for 8-track tapes. So they just said, hey, we'll just position the internal circuit board here so that it just sticks out enough, and we'll design the slot on the side of the machine. So you're putting in what it looks like an 8-track tape. That is the most 70s computer to ever exist. The Exidy Sorcerer. And it actually came with an Apple II-like box of slots that you could plug onto the back of it to plug in like a color graphics card or more memory or a hard drive controller if you had $10,000 for a 5 megabyte hard drive, a modem, and other project boards. But they made the arcade game Starfire, which was the first arcade game I ever played as a kid, because it was like, holy poop, I'm in an X-Wing. But you guys are talking about a board game called Starfire. Now, Star Raiders was a lot of fun. Star Raiders was an incredibly deep space combat sim, a 3D space combat sim on the Atari 2600. It came with a mini keyboard that you'd plug into the other joystick port for different commands. It was pretty cool too. Anyway, let us move on. So there's all that stuff you can do in Starfire, or Star Command. And it wraps up its self-promotion by saying, Star Command is an excellent set of miniatures rules for the beginner or the avid science fiction buff. This is a set of rules that players should never get bored with. Star Command comes with 2 sheets of cutout ships so that players can begin gaming as soon as they read the rules and get the necessary measuring equipment and dice. With 8 of these rules and a little imagination, there's no limit to the different types of situations players can dream up. And those are available from Lou Zoki. The old Zokihedron. Little cartoon there. Good day, sir. Do you know where Gen Con 9 is? Knight on horse at the gas station with a whole host of fantasy types behind him. Very fun. And we have from John Pickens the new D&D character class, the Alchemist. The prime requisite for the Alchemist is wisdom, but both wisdom and intelligence scores must exceed 12. Their alignment is neutral. Since fighting is not their normal vocation, their maximum armor class is 5. They may use only one-handed weapons, excluding magical swords, and their attack levels advance as clerics. They have the saving throws of fighters with a bonus of +2 against poison and non-magical paralyzation. And that makes sense. Let's see. They may use any potion, but only those magical items employable by all classes. See exceptions below. Psionic ability is as fighters with body weaponry replaced by molecular agitation. The alchemist rolls 6-sided dice up to level 9, gaining 1 point per level after that. Alchemists must be human. Explanation of abilities. Detect poison allows the alchemist to tell by explanation whether or not an item or creature is poisonous, or whether a character has been poisoned. Neutralize poison. This will eliminate the effects of poison up to twice the alchemist's own level. This may only be used once per character per time poison and will not revive a character killed by poison. Neutralize paralyzation cancels the effects of paralyzation caused by creatures up to twice the alchemist level. It will not work against paralyzation caused by devices, wands, staves, swords, or spells. Identify potion. This allows the alchemist to correctly identify a potion. If a potion of delusion is not identified, check again to see if it is identified incorrectly. This may also be used to test for acids or similar compounds. As the alchemist advances, he gains the following special abilities. Level 1, ability to read languages, 80% chance, 1 attempt per week per item. Ability to prepare poisons and drugs, and ability to prepare a potion of delusion. Level 3, ability to prepare potions and acids. Level 4, ability to prepare blade venom. Level 7, I'm sorry, I said that was level 4, that's level 5. Level 7, ability to read magic and hence scrolls. As what? Oh, we'll look at the cartoon in a minute. Oh, as thieves, it jumps over. Okay, yeah, I see where it jumps over. Level 9, ability to prepare potions from samples. And then we have their spells. We have their detect, neutralize, poison, paralyzation, and identify potions. The number of potions per day they can prepare, and of what level, I guess. And then their level names. Is this something you guys would use in your game, whether OD&D or AD&D? Let me know. Well, John, I mean, yeah, you can throw it out. You can just say, hey, elves can be alchemists or gnomes or whatever. But is that something that you would use? So we have this little strip. Dirt by Jake. Ready for a game of It, Omar? Sure, Irving. I've got it all set up. Okay, Plitkin to the triangle on the red route. Slud to the circle on the blue route. Challenge call to the Plitkin plus a privilege bump to your rear Z. Bad move, Omar. I refuse to challenge with a rear Zeph. Sacrifice. That's 6 points for me, plus you have to withdraw your Slud 2 lines or change routes. Your move. And of course, Omar is quite unhappy. And then we continue on. Drugs as potions, but double cost. Saving throw versus poison at -2 if failed victim is unconscious for 4 hours minimum. A successful Constitution resurrection throw is required to wake up. Check each hour. Potions require 200 gold pieces and 1 week per level to produce. See list. That's what the level refers to. We've got a whole section of tables here. Yeah, gnomes are in AD&D. Heck yeah, against the giants, Skippy. That's good stuff, man. I love some against the giants. And then there's acids. And then there's the level of potions for your alchemist to brew. And then there's some new potions that actually made it into AD&D, Dust of Sneezing and Choking. Oh, no, that is a different one. It is non-fatal. Flash pellets, no thanks. Have some interesting art there in sort of a magenta tone. Dust of Paralyzation. Immunization from lycanthropes. Cure disease is the clerical spell Regeneration. Mind Damp. That's just a pint of Guinness. Yeah, John, I don't view this as much of an adventure in class. Alchemists can control which liquids come from the jug of alchemy and the beaker of plentiful potions. For other types, these items disgorge their contents randomly when poured. They're able to use the Manual of Golems. The Grimoire of Archaic Alchemy adds 1 experience level to alchemists and 10,000 experience points to magic users. Clerics take 7,000 experience points and 5 to 30 point losses. Other types lose 2 to 20 points. For other books, the alchemist takes damage as a cleric, except the Book of Infinite Spells, which does 5 to 20 points. And then they've got the Philosopher's Stone there. Some notes on poisons, and so on and etc. Now, we have a little bit more from John Pickens in this issue for, guess what? Your D&D game, it's not varied enough. Well, how about some optional weapon damage? They're designed to replace the system introduced in Greyhawk. For every 3 level of fighter advances or every 4 level of thief advances, he may master 1 additional weapon and score the increased damage shown on the expert column. So here, John Pickens is kind of coming at us with weapon specialization rules all the way back in 76. We're a decade away from that coming into vogue with Unearthed Arcana. Don't know that I like this. Crimson says, your chat is watching me while you walk my dogs. Be nice to them, thanks, and don't give them any snacks. Yes, sir. Absolutely, Crimson. Roll Tide. So yeah, this is basically D&D option weapon damage is not, or rather is weapons proficiency rules, weapon specialization rules rather, for original D&D. Far out, is it not? So what else do we have in this issue? Looked at the Alchemist. We've looked at Dirt. Come on. I hate the smell so much. And it's here, the last OD&D supplement. Do I remember the Complete Alchemist? That sounds familiar. You'd have to remind me of what issue it's in, though. The last supplement for original Dungeons and Dragons. Gods, Demigods, and Heroes. By Cunson Ward. Now you can incorporate the many and varied mythos into your world, of the world, into your own game/campaign. Finnish, South American, Norse, Hyborian, Far Eastern, and others too. $5 postpaid. TSR Hobbies, P.O. Box 756, Department D2, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, 53147. Hike! In the next issue of The Dragon, War of the Empires, a golden oldie, a plethora of obscure character subclasses. The penultimate character subclass, Women in Magic, bringing the distaff side in D&D. Over in Little Wars, the debut of Colonel Awesome, Russian TOE, 1941. The Viking Era by Tim Kask. Surprise in Wargaming by Leon Tucker. And then there's the back of the mailer. An old school supplement from Bard Games. Then I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that one. It does sound kind of familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. So what did you guys think? What did you guys think of the read-through of Dragon Magazine #2? Did you enjoy the way I presented it? Do you want more Dragon Magazine read-throughs in the future? Look, I'm not doing every issue. I mean, even if I did one a night, like I just told guests, if I just told my co-host, look, you guys got to give me an hour to do Dragon Magazine read through, it'd be it'd take 5 weeks for 25, 50 weeks. It'd take me a year just to go through the 250 issues before Wizards of the Coast bought TSR out. Connect like some more Dragon, maybe some White Dwarf too. The Best of the Dragon. We've actually done deep dives on Best of Dragon. I way back once upon a time, I actually bought some off of eBay. I found a couple at local used bookstore, and we did we did a Best of the Dragon run. And one thing I can tell you is after Best of Dragon 2, they're really not that great. But yeah, I mean, if I find an issue or something, we can go back and revisit it. We can definitely go back and revisit it. I won't not do some more Dragon Magazine in the future. This just seemed like a good place to get going, because we did the read through of Dragon Magazine #1 not very long ago at all, and being on the heels of Gygax Day, as we had the impromptu live stream there on Saturday and all, I thought, we should read Dragon. Well, we've already done Dragon 1, and we've already been through all the strategic reviews. Dragon Magazine #2 it is. They were better back in those days, and the internet has largely killed them. The closest that we had to a really good RPG magazine again was Gygax, and Gail killed that. Gail and her utterly feckless paranoia killed Gygax magazine. If you're not familiar with Gygax magazine, seek out an issue there, of course, because they have Gary's name on them, and publication was stopped after like 8 issues or something like that. They're, kind of unobtainium. But if you're able to get an issue, pick one up, and you'll enjoy it. If you were into Dragon Magazine, like really into Dragon Magazine from like the 80s up to issue 120 thereabouts, it will scratch your itch. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend it. There were 6 issues. Lux Gail Gygax is Gary's second wife. She's a rather obstinate person. She's a rather obstinate person. She insists that anything that has the word Gygax on it belongs to her, up to the point of suing Gary's children to stop them doing anything with the Gygax name. Gail's a Kathleen Kent. Well, here's the thing. I don't disagree with your sentiment, Brodo. And I don't want to go like too hard down the negativity lane, but I'll say this about Gail. Or about Kathleen Kennedy, rather. Kathleen Kennedy at least wanted to make money. She didn't just demand that she be given money by dint of being the person who had all of the scripts and stuff locked up in a suitcase that she carried with her at all times, day and night, which is what Gail does. Yeah, if I did the full run, we'd be here a long time, Jimmy. So Gail is peculiar. She's definitely peculiar. She's why none of the books that I ever wrote for Gary have been published to date. But maybe that'll change someday. Sean Hall, greetings. Ho, ho, ho. Hi, Sean Hall. What have I incorporated in my games from Dragon Magazine? The Witch. I love The Witch. Witches. Witches are awesome. The final incarnation of the Witch in Dragon Magazine is A-OK with me. You can have good witches, bad witches, neutral witches. They have a wonderful plethora of spells. That's something, honestly, I wish Gary had put the Witch in Unearthed Arcana. But I can also understand TSR wanting to stay away from anything called a witch. They are in 2 or 3 issues. I think they're in 3 issues of Dragon. I can't remember which ones, but the last one's like in issue 114, I think, is kind of the penultimate one. She's the best defined, has the best art. And we do enjoy us some witchy women. $114, page 8. That's the one that I prefer, Jack. I mean, you can play them as benevolent but mysterious and misunderstood sorceresses, which is generally how I go with them. Or you can have them just as like cackling, hags with a, face looks like a football that's been run over by a harvester combine. Big black hat with a huge brim and a pointy top. I kind of lean more towards the Stevie Nicks variant myself. Yeah, Kabuki. My initial encounters, conversations with Gail were very heartfelt, and I hurt for her because there were a lot of people that had absconded with things that belonged to Gary. Nobody in the gaming community. She later accused of it, though. Igwilv is not the misunderstood benevolent witch. She is the haughty but completely evil type. Although she's friends with Mordenkainen, so I'm also fond of Barnacus City of Peril. Strictly because when I need a seaside town, whether it's for A1, Slave Pits of the Undercity for Highport, or whether I need a town to represent Stoink? No. It's on the east coast of the Wild Coast, or the eastern side of the Wild Coast, just before you come out into the Azure Sea, and I can't remember. Did Archie Comics ever catch any flack for Sabrina? Not sure. God, that's going to bother me now. Name of that town. Anyway, if I need a seaport town, that's it. And so far, my players haven't really caught on that I just keep reusing the same map over and over again. She's nicer when she went as Tasha. Yeah, but, I mean, was it a good act or a bad act when she summoned Grast and bound him on the prime material plane for however long she did? And bind him she did. And I don't want to risk getting demonetized or anything, but she, it wasn't just like, hey, since you're here, by all accounts, she was not very nice to him. This was not like a the idiot class to look forward to, as well as a few others. Nice, good to know, Jack. That was a lover's tip. Somebody said that, and I can't remember where I read this, and I don't know, like, if this is true or not. They were tsundere, Tsundere, or something like that. Speaking of witches wearing pointy hats, is there a good reason for an adventuring magic user to ever wear robes or a pointy hat? It seems like the bullseye. It's a fashion statement, man. It's a fashion. Let me tell you something. I can't wear this for too long, but let me just make a point here. Hang on a second. This is classic dungeon adventuring gear for the spell slinging magic user. All right. Now, maybe it makes me a target for orc arrows, but ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. This looks sharp. But alas, I'll have to take it off when we get ready to play some AD&D. The dunce cap was not supposed to be a mark of shame. The cone was supposed to focus energies and increase intelligence. Well, today I learned King on the Mountain has the same hat. You have a similar hat, sir. Of course, like Presto for St. Patrick's. Wizard hats are like cargo shorts these days, or were until recently. I mean, you know, it keeps the rain off if you're studying your spell book. You can eat rations, you know, when the rest of the party's starving, you can summon up food and be munching quietly. I need a hat band. Nah, not for this. This is the Gandalf going here. This came from I think this was from the Village Hat Shop. But my wife got this for me for Christmas one year, and I love it. I really do. Let me see. I say she got it from the Village Hat Shop. Is there a... Oh, no, this is merch. This is actual Lord of the Rings merch right here. I know that one's from it. Oh, Jeremy Rule. Thank you. Thank you for the super. Jeremy says, when I'm meeting a stranger, what are the tells that let me know they might be a D&D player? Generally speaking, I mean, that's a niche conversation. Like, I don't really... Like, just kind of an understanding of geek culture in general. You know, and it's so infused. Okay, let me tell you something. I have said this before. The chicken soup for my soul, when I'm not watching my fellow D&D YouTube creators, is car repair videos. I don't just mean car repair videos like, you know, here we are, it's my, you know, 2015 Accord, and today we're going to adjust the serpentine belt tension. A D&D branded t-shirt does help. But I'm watching a video one day for Junkyard Digs. These are guys that they go find cars that have been abandoned in buildings and sometimes out in the elements, you know, with trees growing up around them, through them, sometimes just completely rusted out and rotted out vehicles. And I would say 11 times out of 15 by the end of the video, they've at least got the car turning over and are able to drive it out of its grave. You know, they're able to move it up out of the hole that it is slowly sunk down into. And I would say half the time they've got a vehicle that can be restored and driven again. The Mad R conductor, greetings. But I'm watching a video one day and they're putting speed parts on a car. Now, this is the channel is Junkyard Digs. And the guy, Kevin, it's like Army aircraft mechanic. You go on his channel, and he is the most laconic, laid back Iowa redneck kind of guy. Loads of fun to watch. Very cool dude. Off in central Iowa near Ames, I think. He picks up a speed part. I think it was a new intake manifold. And the graphics on the box are insane. It's like Gothic. It's like chromed Gothic lettering, flames, all that jazz. He picks it up and he says, "My God, this box." And he's laughing as he's carrying it over to the workbench to open it. He says, "This looks like something out of Dungeons and Dragons." So to answer your question, Jeremy, if somebody lets something like that, like, why would he say, why not? This looks like something out of Skyrim. This looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. This looks like something out of Robin Hood Men in Tights. This looks like da-da-da-da-da-da. He specifically said this looks like something out of Dungeons and Dragons. It's little tells like that when they mention it specifically. I even wrote in the comments under that because I love those guys and I will comment on their videos and they comment back, which is lovely. I just, did someone say Dungeons and Dragons? So you'll just catch little references in their speech. That's the way. And a lot of times you don't even know. Jeremy, I had no idea whether or not you'd play D&D when I said, "Hey, you're going to come play D&D with us for a few weeks," which turned into like 5 years, for which I'm eternally grateful. Please come back. Sometimes you just got to fly in blind. Sometimes you just got to fly in blind. But tonight we're not flying blind. No, tonight we are not flying blind because we have, and again, I thank you for that, super Jeremy. We have all 4 of our game participants in the house. So without further ado, let us play some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and say hello to our, oh God, there's ants everywhere, specifically participants. So let us say hello back from his recent world tour, Baron Von Headbangers Cork. Greetings, Baron. Mark. Hey, he's a monk now, and people say he monkeys around. As Brother Ishan.
Hello.
He might be an outlier, but he'll always be in our hearts. The one, the only TK.
Hi-yo. Well, at least I'm not the bull god.
That's right. And the man, the plan, the ram, the jam. Ergo, played by Doomsword Deathmaster. Greetings.
What's up?
All right. So, gentlemen, are you ready to play some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I hope?
Nope.
All right, folks. Well, that just about does it for us. Run the TK just kills the game right there. All right. So, what are your plans, gentlemen? What now?
What are plans?
What did we do last week? I didn't get a chance to watch.
We did stuff. We took a lot of loot back to the city. I think we need to divvy it up, and maybe I'll level up.
Yeah, killed some whites, and I lost my levels. Got them back almost, and otherwise, yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. As far as loot goes, y'all take it, y'all level. You've done me enough favors in the past. I'll get mine later.
Then I guess what was the total amount of the loot?
And for the audience, we are hanging out in Greyhawk at this point. various taverns. As Outlier is both a dwarf cleric and fightar, he will be spending his time at the monastery, earning back some of the like $10,000 spell that I just had them use on me or something stupid.
All right, so it is time to hand out some XP for the whites. So a single white is worth 540 XP plus 5 for every hit point it has. Now, for those of you who are perhaps new to first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, maybe you're not completely, completely knowledgeable about it. The XP given out for monsters, of course, there's a base amount, and then there's an amount for every hit point. So it does vary a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of math. Sometimes the A in AD&D stands for counting, and this is one of those nights. So let's dig on into that. So you had a total of 11 whites. So there's the base amount, which is 5940. And then their hit points. Just calculate those up real quick. Plus 15, 40. And there were 5 of you in that fight. There was, Cork was standing back, being radiant with his protection from evil. So we're going to divide this evenly.
Yep. And there were 11 white, so it's going to be a big payout.
That yields 1,397 experience points for each of you.
Cool.
1,397. Now, how much of the treasure did you guys get out?
Pretty much all of it.
So you got
a handful of copper, but
right, yes, which you guys paid to get into the city.
Yep.
Your entry into the postern late at night. So, so for your treasure. Now, how are you dividing the treasure? I am not inserting myself into your game at all, but TK did say that his character was not taking a portion of treasure. Is that correct? That affects my math keeping.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I'm fine missing out on this run, because they all need it.
So I guess divided by 3. Wow.
Yep.
No, divided by 4 because you've still got your trusty manservant there, Virgo. That yields 3,112 XP to each of you. 3,112.
Spend it wisely, team.
I am leveling up.
Woohoo! Hey, you're a monk now. And I've already done that one.
I'm a monk 2 now.
That's right.
Next
So
I'll be monk 3.
there is a you're a monk of what deity?
Of Hieronymus.
Hieronymus. Okay,
Hieronymus.
you're a monk of Hieronymus. So yes, the friars will go and they will beat you with broom handles for a week.
That sounds amazing.
Yes. Dodge this, my brother. Whap. Thank you, brother. Not with the bristle ends again, please. There's too many mice turds on them. All right, so let's see.
Well, I got whacked on the shin playing broom hockey with a broom handle, so I can attest that it hurts.
Oof. Yep, that's going to sting.
Oh, I just thought of a monk of St. Cuthbert would be great. Just Like they just be constantly clocking you with their clubs.
Yes. All right. So, as a monk, someone was very upset with me in a video people have been upset with me in my video comments a lot lately, but that happens. But someone was very upset in one of the video comments when I suggested that I would, they're like, yeah, first edition's okay, but get rid of monks and psionics and bards. And I was like, no. They were quite insistent. So you are now an initiate, a second level monk. Your effective armor class is 9.
Yep.
You gain a movement rate of 16 inches. That's 160 feet underground, 160 yards above ground.
Speedy.
Yes. Still 1 open hand attack per melee round, but damage now goes up to 4.
Yeah.
So how many total XP do you have?
I have a total of 4509, so not quite to 3rd level yet.
You are close, sir.
Yes.
I was hoping we could get you there. I was like,
Well, time to throw you all to Remora, as I see.
And I believe that would have cost me 1,500-ish gold pieces, right?
That is correct. Your role play has been just fine. I have no complaint. No. So let us move along here. For those of you who are playing along, the monk is a fairly mechanically complex character in 1E AD&D, but the rewards you reap when you reach higher levels are absolutely phenomenal. When you can do things like fall from any height and take no damage. I'm going to drop you from orbit. That's fine.
I'm now going to spend the next few minutes trying to figure out what I can do.
Okay. So you have all those things that I just pointed out. You gain a D4 hit points.
Oh, that's right. D4 hit points. Let me see how bad I roll. 2.
That's not bad. That's exactly average. You're not going to be punching any clay golems, but
excellent.
That is it for the stuff that I rattled off earlier, and your hit point gain are it. At 3rd level, you start really kicking in. At 4th level, you start getting those double taps every 4th round.
At 2nd level, I start getting annoying to you about my surprise chances, because now I'm surprised at 32% instead of 33 1/3% like everyone else.
It's fine. I got percentile dice. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Not that big of a hassle. Okay, so Brother Ishan is off studying away. What is Cork doing?
Oh, what Cork usually does. He's going to drink a lot.
Make me roll on the city encounter tables is what Cork is going to do.
Oh, that too.
By the way, everyone, I want to point something out. Speaking of rolling on the tables, I know you see me roll a lot of dice, and I am firmly in the camp with my co-host Kyle, who says the dice tell a story that neither the dungeon master nor the players knew they were going to tell. One of the best tools for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition are the Dungeon Master's Assistant Volume 1 and Volume 2. They only run under DOS. The interface isn't great, even if you go through the trouble of getting them working on DOSBox or some other sort of virtual machine. I asked the right person today, and we're working on getting basically rebuilding them as a Windows application. It's not going to happen anytime before the summer, but it's happening. Code is being written as we speak. So that'll be fun for me, for you, for DMs, even for players, because we're approaching it from character creation first. So we got some preliminaries down pat. And that is a very, very cool thing. And I will keep everyone apace. It will be released for free. I certainly can't sell something with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons on it.
So is it going to be OGL 1, 1A, 1B, 1C, CC, to?
Gonna be WMS.
There's a free license for software called Do What the Fuck You Want.
Yes, exactly. I would direct you to the YouTube video of the refrain from, I think it's Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine, that runs for about 10 minutes. That's for whoever would get in my way on that. All right, so
Great
let's.
album.
All right. So Cork, you schlep over to the Green Dragon to slurp down an ale. What is Outlier? You're at the church. You're basically spending your time in the monastic cells and helping out the poor and so on.
Correct. Can't tell my camera's off. I am off screen.
Aha. Well played. Duck down behind your player's shield. What is Turgo doing, Doomsword?
Yeah, so session before last.
Mm-hmm.
Session before last, or the session before the session before the last. I had been looking for some enchanted arrows, a couple of dozen magical arrows, and then I missed the session where I might have been able to hear something about that. So I assume it's just something that's taken some time to find. I'd like to follow up on that and see if there's any chance.
Okay, I'll come right back to you on that. Hang on just a second. Cork, while you are on your way to the Green Dragon Inn, there is a group of 7 travelers. They are led by someone wearing the vestments of Fultus, who is not unfriendly to Heronius. They are often seen as brother gods. And they see your holy symbols on your armor, and one of them deigns to approach you, the leader type. He speaks to his friends and walks up to you and, "Greetings, noble paladin."
Greetings to you, noble traveler.
"I see that you are a holy warrior."
Well, I am that.
"Blessed be Heronius. Heronius, strong with his thunderbolt, a son of the skies, a scion of goodness, as is Fultus."
Right on, brother.
"Yes, well, my comrades and I, my travelers and I, are making our way across this land, and we could use those whose religious minds are likened unto our own. Do you seek absolution and solitude and exploration and travel?"
Not particularly, but how far are you going?
"Oh, well, we are traveling across this land. We are making our way to Furiondi."
Well, I have a job to do here, so I can't really travel anywhere.
"I understand, brother. Well, will you share our burden at least as we walk through this?" And he kind of glances around. "Wretched hive of scum and villainy."
Oh yeah, I don't. Sure.
All right. They're walking along, and he proceeds to speak of in a very zealous way about the benefits of an ascetic and sort of riches-free lifestyle with his friends sort of nodding and agreeing. Like, don't you agree? I mean, you're a paladin. You can't exactly hoard a bunch of wealth, so it's not, non-worldly folk are not strange to you.
Yeah, to a point, yes, I agree. I have a new friend that would agree wholeheartedly.
No, I see. Yes. Do you know if he wishes to walk the earth as well?
I cannot speak for him, but he is in training right now at the temple of Hieronymus.
Of course, I understand. Well, here is a public house. Perhaps we can get ourselves a refreshing bracer for truly Foltus as he makes the sun grow, he makes the sunshine, which causes the crops to grow, creates bountiful food and drink for us to take to the nourishment of our bodies and thus to the furtherment of his work. Don't you agree? Can I get an amen from you, brother?
Oh yeah, amen.
Of course,
absolutely.
All right, they walk into this inn. It's the dancing werebear is what it is. I'm sorry, the dancing owl bear. I always mess that up. It is the dancing owl bear that you go into, and it's moderately crowded, but there's a table big enough, and he summons the barmaid over and orders a pitcher of good, clean water and a small beer, I think, for each of us. We're celebrating new friendship. And he claps you on the shoulder.
Can you make that a pitcher for me of beer, not water?
But of course, as the man says, a pitcher of beer for him. Your thirst must be mighty, my friend. Your deeds valorous. Please regale us with these tales. And they hang on your every word. So, there are 4 shops of note in the city of Greyhawk that sell items of note. And we'll see. The first shop has no magic arrows. The second shop has no magic arrows, but as you're walking out there, Doomsword, he says, "Wait! I have this dagger which adds to your puissance skill. You could strap it to the end of a big stick. That's almost like an arrow, isn't it, my lord?"
Are you serious, man?
No, I'm just trying to sell a magical item to you, my lord.
You can find your next mark. I seek arrows for a specific reason. Unless you mean to say that I don't know what I'm talking about or looking for, in which case we have a slightly different problem.
Oh, no, my lord. I thought perhaps a improvised pole arm with this, and I mean the dagger does have a soft glow to it, and he balances it in the palm of his hand, and it's at a glance it's a magical dagger. So he's not trying to rip you off, at least not that much.
Good man, if you don't mind me saying, you either thought not or thought incorrectly.
I thought incorrectly, my lord.
Indeed.
All right. And the fourth shop. I'll be danged. I was basically hinging it on a very, 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 very low percentage roll. The fourth shop has 10 arrows plus 1.
I see I've come to the right place.
Yes, my lord, yes. I would demonstrate, but of course, that would destroy the magic in them.
No demonstration necessary. I can see from the craftsmanship that they are what you say they are.
Indeed, sir. These were fletched by the elves of High Folk.
High folk, I know it well.
Yes.
Not that I would visit it anytime soon, mind you.
I cannot speak to the veracity of this, but they who sold it to me said that these were actually artifact forged for the wars against the Witch Queen herself in days of yore, and have laid undiscovered in a local cache of weapons until recent times. But again, whatever their provenance, I can assure you they are enchanted, my lord.
Seems such. And what do you ask for these fine pieces of fletchery?
Ah, yes, sir, of course. Being of elven make and from a distance away, I would ask you for not less than, and I do mean not a penny less than, Game Master is looking up the price of these, sorry. Arrows, arrows, arrows. And I said there are 10, correct?
Correct.
So that would be 120 gold pieces.
I trust I'm not paying for any supposed provenance, correct?
Not at all, sir. Stories are nice for children around the hearth on a cold evening, but this is he holds up the quiver. This can mean the difference between life and death, and all the stories in the world won't save you from the beak of an owl bear.
Indeed. And what is your name, good man? I should like to peruse your wares in the future, perhaps.
I am Earl Oots.
Pleasure, Earl. Yeah, I'll buy those.
Okay. All right, so you now have 10 arrows plus 1, and subtract 120 gold pieces from your...
Yeah, I'll toss him another 30, so I'll do 150. I'm feeling generous.
Oh, thank you, my lord.
It's a tip. Remember me next time.
But of course. Alrighty. So meanwhile, back at the inn, they have ordered, for ascetic pilgrims, they're putting away quite a lot of groceries. They're not getting drunk, but they are having their fill, and you're pretty sure the last loaf she brought out went straight into one of their travel bags when you were focusing intently on what the on what their leader was saying.
Oh my gosh. Well, I didn't definitely see it. I just pretty sure I saw it.
Yeah, they're just like, and it's not theft, it's
Yeah.
food,
They're just
but they're,
okay. Well, I'm definitely not going to drink enough to get inebriated around them.
okay.
I will just kind of chill.
Okay.
And see what happens. I will nurse the beer a little bit.
Alrighty. Well, actually, how about his charisma? So, while you are enjoying this, a rather attractive She's a little loud and boisterous woman, comes over and she sits down onto the bench next to you, and there's not that much room on the bench. So she kind of scoots you over with her hips and takes your mug and drinks it about halfway and sets it down and says, "What are we having for dinner tonight?"
Oh, wow.
Maybe a feeling you might be on the menu.
All right. I'm kind of a direct person, so how much?
She blushes hotly, but whispers something that is agreeable to you in your ear.
Let's go.
Okay.
Why not? I can't catch anything, so why not?
You get the impression that the fellow that's traveling with you is a cleric, and he has a quizzical look on his face. He says, but brother, you surely you can't mean to.
What? Have some fun? Well, you do it your way, I'll do it mine.
Well, they are quite put off with this as they see you. James, he is a paladin. He is immune to disease. Let us fade to black on that scene and go back over to Turgo. Turgo, you have purchased your arrows.
Yes, sir.
And where are you going from there?
I don't really have much more to do here. I suppose I'll swing by the wharves and whatnot, where we had found that abandoned warehouse. It's a typical place I like to go and see if there's anything happening that seems out of the ordinary. And afterward, I'll make my way back to the resident inn.
Okay. The only folk you encounter along your way over to the wharves there on the Celantan are a group of city watch. Good
fellows.
It's obvious. This fellow kind of eyes you up and down and says, "Good evening, sir. What's your business out here?"
Well, all I can really say is that my reputation precedes me. Otherwise, I'd be late for all my appointments.
Are you wanted, sir?
Wanted by only the best and the bravest.
Of course, sir.
Can you not see that I'm a hero of Greyhawk? For I am Turgo.
His eyes grow wide for a minute, for a brief second. He says, "Turgo? The Turgo? Corporal, clap them in irons." Ha 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 ha. But I jest, sir. I'm afraid your name is unknown to me, Mr. Turgo.
Well, it is now.
But you should watch your step in this district, sir, for it was not but a few days ago when a group of investigators, under charter from the city, mind you, unearthed the bones of some worthy, and he kind of indicates off in a direction there, who had been walled up in his own establishment, heaven knows when. They say that his undead spirit was haunting the place and very nearly took the lives of those self-same investigators.
You don't say.
I do say, sir. And
seems more evil is afoot these days, these troubled days.
Out here amongst the abandoned buildings and warehouses along the dock in this district, I'm afraid so, sir. Why, I've petitioned the syndics themselves for more men under arms and perhaps a a mage or a cleric to accompany us. But you know how the business of a city must go, sir.
Indeed I do. Well, if
Must
I may
make
be
our
so
road,
forward,
sir, so
if there's any work that you have for a stalwart adventuring party, look me up.
of course, sir. I will take my leave. Lads, form up.
Fairly well.
He salutes you and they go clapping off, and Darawesh behind you says, I must admit, when he ordered that corporal to clap irons on you, I thought we'd have to clap iron with them.
Indeed, Darwesh. We would have slain them all.
And likely as not become brigands ourselves in the process.
Oh, we would have left immediately.
All right. So the rest of the day is uneventful. Turgo, what is there anything in that district you wish to do specifically?
No, I was just looking around, basically. Seeing to it that it's patrolled and that sort of thing. Nothing.
All right. Okay. By mid-morning, for it is the next morning, you just passing normal folk in the street, nothing of note happens. Unless anyone has I see what you did there, John Sturkeller. Unless anyone has anything specific that they wish to do in the city, we can go ahead and just jump on ahead to the completion of of Brother Ishan's training. Brother Ishan, you can now strike a brick with the edge of your hand.
And it hurts a lot. Ow.
Yeah, doesn't quite hurt as much as it did before. No, you have you are learning the ways of the open hand a little bit better.
The dim mock.
Yes.
Wax on, wax off.
Paint a fence.
I don't like to brag, but your dungeon master is the master of the dim sum. But
I love dim sum.
Got a pan of steamed dumplings, 2 egg rolls, and some General Tso's, and I'm good to go.
General Tso.
Yes.
I do love a good hot pot, and honestly, splitting a love boat with one of your friends of sushi is probably one of the best ways to kill between those two things $100, but B, like an entire evening.
I tell you what, this is many, many years ago. It's probably easily a decade ago. We have a little Vietnamese run American style Chinese place near us. It's phenomenal. Hey, Turgo, you're near me. If you like Chinese, come over to Orlando and I'll take you to the best place. But
let me know what that is, offline or whatever.
Oh, sure, absolutely. But anyway, I felt like I was starting to get the flu. And for some reason, just some switch in my brain said, go get hot and sour soup. And I got like a large hot and sour soup. No dumplings, no egg rolls, nothing. I literally opened it and started drinking it like a drink on the way home. Next day, no cold symptoms, completely gone. I felt 180 degrees around from where I'd felt before.
It's a great way to clear you out. It really is.
It felt like it did, all that hot soup and the spice and everything just loosened everything up. But let us get back to Greyhawk. So you, Danny H, popping in to say hi. Have a better tomorrow, Danny. Thanks for stopping in. All right, so you all reconvene at the Green Dragon Inn there. Strangest damn thing. There's 2 children there, and it appears they're being looked over by Robilar. There's Robilar and the Green Dragon Inn. He's doing got your nose, made a copper piece appear out of one, and it's a boy and a girl. But other than that, nothing of note there in the common room.
He's not sniffing their hair, is he?
No, he's not. Thank you very much. And that was the night I got demonetized. All the extra subscriptions in the world didn't help because that was the end of my channel.
Just checking.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, huh? Nothing else that we've done so far.
Yeah.
So, friends,
Indeed.
where to next?
Well, I suppose.
Do we have any business with Robilar?
Who?
Robilar.
That gentleman over there? No, don't know.
And that gentleman over there. He's world renowned. And infamous.
I don't tend to go to places like this, so I wouldn't know.
Indeed.
Question for the DM.
Yes.
How much was it? I know Holy Water's 25 a pop.
Mhm. Yes.
I usually pay, 3 gold for a bottle of whiskey?
You cannot mix holy water and whiskey. I'm not going to allow it.
I'm
even.
Same aware of that, but I used my last bottle of whiskey last time we were killing undead, so I wanted to know how much to mark off my sheet.
Oh yeah, the barkeep will sell you a bottle of rye for a few gold. No big deal.
Okay, that's all. 5. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so okay.
Oh, with it, I'll go talk to Robilar.
I don't have anything to say to the useless wizard.
He's not a wizard.
Oh, that's right. He's the fighter. I was thinking of the other dude.
Okay.
The other
He sees you coming. Stands up. Well, good to see you, Turgo. How are you, children?
Pardon, my lord.
He hands the little few wooden doodads, corn husk dolls and so on. Hands them to the children. You children go and sit over there next to the bar. Uncle Robilar has some business to attend to. So, what can I do for you, Turgo?
How goes it, Master of Greyhawk and Environs?
Ha! I wouldn't want the job. Don't put that on my shoulders.
That was a test.
Oh, it's it is what it is. It's cold and wet, and I've got these 2 young pups I'm keeping an eye on for a couple of few friends of mine, but other than that, nothing really to report.
Indeed. No news is good news, as they say.
Yes. Any word from Greyhawk Castle? The ruins?
The usual, unfortunately.
Mm.
Death, destruction, mayhem, wizardry. But some of us have come out alive. I would like to point out my new traveling companions.
Yes?
I'm not new.
I wasn't talking about you.
I guess I'm the new guy.
Well, you said companions plural. Well, yes, to be fair, he hasn't met
Cork.
He hasn't met Cork yet.
Oh, so you're a holy warrior, are you?
Nah, he floats in water.
He's also muted. He's taken a vow of mute.
Indeed.
Do you think Cork would float, or do you think Cork would sink? If we threw him in the lake.
If he's wearing his armor, he would
I
say.
was going to say, if he's wearing plate, he'd probably say.
So then he must be a duck. Therefore, he's made of wood.
Stone on his armor. And throw him in the water. He'll gradually drift to so he's pointing north, so you can navigate with the power. See, guys, you don't get this on Critical Role.
Yeah, just give me a beer. I'll just float.
All right.
Point the way.
I see he's not going to answer the question. Anyway, yes.
I'm
he's
sorry,
a holy warrior.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was muted when I answered, so yes,
Yes.
indeed, I am.
Yeah, he's slow to speak sometimes,
Mm.
quick to anger others.
Well, knew a paladin or two once during my adventuring days. If you want my advice, stay away from loose women, no matter how pretty or insistent they are.
Oops.
You may have been a little late for that suggestion.
He kind of eyes you, Cork, and says, "No, I think my sense of timing was just about perfect, actually."
Any
Anyway,
strange
Men, on the
goings
other
on
hand,
in
they're
the
just
city?
fine.
Anything
So,
amiss in the city, Rebel Eye?
nothing that I haven't set into, or nothing that I've set into motion, rather.
I see. Well met, and fairly well regardless.
But of course,
Robolor, actually, while you're here, this doesn't necessarily pertain to me in any way, shape, or form, but do you happen to know of anywhere we could visit around here? And they're actually out of game. There is one thing I do want to do is I want to go visit the Alchemist and check in with him. But anywhere around here that pays bounties for specific creatures. We went and felled almost a dozen whites before, and I just didn't know if there was anything we should be keeping a lookout for.
bits and pieces of whites might be well considered by the occasional hedge wizard or alchemist. I've known a few, but
I mean, I got a head.
you keep that that white head. That's a hard won trophy on you, good dwarf. But as to any specific parts or whatnot, ask the alchemists, any mages or sages you might know. There's a few apothecaries in town that'll pay for dragon's teeth or its hide or brain or heart or liver, stuff, things of that nature.
That's typical. That's typical. I just didn't know if there were any any bounties for specific things out.
None that I can think of, sir. None that I can think of.
That's a shame. Oh well.
He's become a bit boring in his old age.
Me or Robolor?
Yes.
Do I have to grab my pickaxe handle? I still keep it there. Still has the names of Leo and Nerm on it.
What is our next adventure?
I've taken adventure to an alchemist to try and stuff this head, but wonder if I can pay it to talk. Let's pay somebody to get it to talk.
What do you think it would tell us?
I don't think it necessarily need to tell us anything, but even if I could just use it to leave a message, like you say something in its ear and it comes out its mouth, kind of thing. I think it'd be funny.
The idiot can't speak with dead on a decapitated white, and it just screams all day.
I mean, even then, that could still be useful. You put it in a box, it says "Open me," and take the lid off. Ah!
Or you just have it scream at a certain time as your alarm clock. So.
Yeah, right.
Horrible way to wake up in the
useful.
morning. Horrible way to wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Or point at the door. Anybody walks through that door, scream.
So go to your alchemist, and then shall we go back to Castle Greyhawk afterwards?
I believe that is the correct choice, yes.
Then.
Do you feel up to it?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Indeed.
Well,
me as well.
I recommend we leave the monk here so he can't give away his worldly possessions. The last thing we need is for him to lose another crossbow.
Too late.
He can give them to me for safekeeping.
Yes.
We will give the monk to you for safekeeping. Yes.
I don't want the monk, just his worldly possessions.
All right, monk, strip naked. Then you can come with me.
There's basically like 4 things in my equipment list. You can have them.
You want sandals, 1 torch, and gi pants?
I mean, anything that you acquire above and beyond what you might keep according to your meager way of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this actually came up in discussion. This is the educational portion of the show. This came up in discussion over on our Discord. The monk, the monk, Mark, asked how he was supposed to level if he couldn't keep any money. Monks can keep enough necessary for upkeep. Leveling is upkeep.
Yep.
They don't have to hope that somebody will donate money on their behalf to a monastery to get them leveled up. So fear not.
And isn't upkeep like 10 GP per level per month or something like that?
100.
100
Yeah,
GP.
Okay.
Okay.
Per level per month.
So Brother Ishan has opened a bank account for the purposes of his upkeep. And he's
Mhm.
going to keep a strict limit on how much he can keep into it and what he can use it on.
Well, there you go.
Everything else, if he gets a lot, he has just enough for the upkeep. The rest of it will go to charity.
Or me. I count as charity.
It turns out your middle name is
Let's
Charity.
form
We'll find out.
a charity.
Well, I consider my middle name Charity because I can get us potions.
Not
Hence
how
the
that
Alchemist.
actually specifically says another player character is not a charitable organization.
I bet you that rule is there because someone tried it.
Yeah.
I bet you it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those rules.
Yeah. Now I could open a third-party charity organization with, an offshore account. And,
Now the A really means accounting at AD&D. Let's not go there.
Two ledger accounting.
Yeah.
Yep.
5013G.
What do you mean this book doesn't line up with the other book? That's not my problem.
Yeah. Cast comprehend languages by teleport. Okay, so
Alchemist.
Yeah.
What do-
Anybody want to go visit the Alchemist with me, or are you leaving me in the city alone?
I'll go.
Okay.
Turgo, Brother Ishan, what are you guys up to?
Brother Ishan will go back to the monastery and stay out of trouble.
Okay.
And train. He's a boring sort at the moment.
I wonder if I should buy some
Stay
extra
in the end.
crossbows just to keep on me.
Yeah, in case I start giving them away to everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you need a crossbow, sir? No, you don't.
Your inner Papa Roach comes out and just give it away. Silver arrows wouldn't hurt though. If while I talk to the alchemist, if you would wouldn't mind swinging by and grabbing them.
That's right, Outlier. You had mentioned that my crossbow bolts would not have worked on the whites, so perhaps it would be wise to have a small amount of these fancier bolts to work on. I'll go find a Fletcher, Boyer, whatever the person, a crossbow person to buy.
Yeah, a boyer for you there.
Yeah. Then I'll do that.
Okay, do you have a light crossbow or a heavy crossbow?
A light crossbow.
A light crossbow. Excellent. A single silvered crossbow quarrel will cost you 1 gold piece.
Ooh, that is harsh. All the charity that he could give to the poor. Very well. He'll buy
Get a
5.
sheath.
He'll buy 5.
By 5, okay.
And he'll keep them nicely separate, and he will only use them for special occasions.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Do you have any fun encounters? Sadly, no. Just the normal folk of Greyhawk. No one approaching you. You do hear a couple of beggars in the street watching you go by. They don't bother accosting you because you look like Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. No place to keep money. One of them just mutters, "He must be a holy man." Says, "How can you tell?" And he says, "You haven't got poop all over him." How about Turgo? What is Turgo up to?
Yeah, I'm just gonna basically sit at the bar in the inn. Get ready for our next excursion. Have a few drinks. Listen for rumors and small talk and that sort of thing before retiring, sharpening my weapons and getting ready.
Gotcha.
Paladin,
Yep.
by the by, as we're walking, do you have any silvered weapons or anything? I never bothered to ask.
Nope.
I
have none.
Well, I guess the magic kind of trumps the silver at that point. So.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Would anybody accost a paladin and as close to a paladin as a dwarf can get walking down the street?
No, you are not accosted. There's a fellow obviously dressed for more of a wilderness setting. He is standing on a street corner reading a scrap of parchment. He kind of nods respectfully at you as you pass by. But other than that, you see no one of note as you approach your alchemist, who is hard at work, and he sees you coming and ushers you and says, come in. Oh, you're in. Okay. I guess you heard. Did I send a runner? Oh, nope. I forgot. It's not a center runner.
I'll settle for a walker next time.
No, that's fine.
Carrier pigeon.
Well,
small child.
What was that? What did you bring me ingredients of last time? Oh, damn it. That wasn't lemonade. That was a potion of forgetfulness I drank.
Well, at one point we had brought you troglodytes. There was something else we had bought on a prior occasion, something from internal components from a land wyrm of sorts, some kind of lesser dragon we brought you as well. And now I've brought you a talking head, and I will proceed to stick my hand up the white's head and continue to speak to him for the rest of the time as it is a sock puppet.
That is strange and off-putting.
It's intended to be.
Yes, no, it was. I have for you, and he puts out a little crystal decanter. It's tied, and it's got different sigils mashed into a wax seal around the stopper in it, and so on and etc.
Yep. Lay it on me.
For your consideration, a potion of fire lizard control. Hold your applause.
I have a question.
Yes.
And this is still all through the head. I'm going to get the head about an inch from his face at this point. Do you not think a potion of fire resistance may have been a little bit more prudent?
Well, you didn't bring me anything that was fire resistant.
I gave you a lizard that belched fire.
You didn't give me the fire resistant parts, did you?
Part of it. I gave you a smorgasbord, a sample, a tasting tray, if you will, a viscera.
I could have sworn that was lemonade. Anyway, well, if you want fire resistance, I'll get for you, my friend, or I'll brew up for you, my friend.
For the time being, I'll take the potion of fire lizard control. I doubt its use, but we'll find out. Anything from the troglodytes?
Yes, I got a rather nasty rash and boils between my fingers from handling their various body parts, but I'm still working on a tincture in another building I've rented, mind you. Oh,
no oil of stench or anything like that.
I'm sorry.
No oil of stench.
Well, I'm working on various admixtures. So give it time. Give it time. It's working though. Frankly, I thought you would have been rather excited about the ability to control a great fire belching lizard, but
Well, I mean, how many great fire-belching lizards do you actually run into on your daily basis? That's the first one I've seen in 165 years.
Me, none, but you're an adventurer, and you are going to live probably for another 165 years, barring any, accidents.
Well, I'd hope I'd at least triple that, but yes. Thirdly, then the talking head the talking head an inch from your nose. What can you do with what can you do with the white pate?
Well, if you haven't shoved your fist all the way into its cranium and further damaged its brainal tissues, then perhaps
brain's fine, tongue's fine.
Oh, well then, it'll take me a good stretch, but perhaps I could make a potion of undead control from this.
I'm just going to look at the paladin. I'm going to look at him. Look at the paladin. Look at him. I'm going to take a little head and turn it to look at the paladin. And look at him. Do we look like the kind of guys that control undead in our free time?
I don't know. Look, you came here a few months ago. You tried to talk me out of my standard guild fees to hire me. You've hired me. I produced a potion that lets you control something that's damn near a dragon. And now you're doing this morbid puppet show in the middle of my shop. So honestly, I have no idea what you're up to.
Correct. Secondly, though, and on to that point, I expect a result that we can use. There's nothing more useful that you could produce from the head of this wight.
No, there is nothing more useful that I could produce from the head of that wight. You don't want the ability to, I don't know, order a vampire not to suck your blood?
I would rather have the ability to turn that vampire to ash.
He turns back around, he has a pot labeled lamp oil with a cork in it and says, start with that.
That's what we do. We're not interested in controlling them. We're interested in destroying them. Unless, this can the potion can let them yeet themselves off ye olde cliff.
I suppose they just fly. That wouldn't work.
You get my point.
Look, I have the potion of fire lizard control. Do you want it or not?
Yeah, I'll absolutely take it. I was really hoping to get something more from the undead, though. Oh well. Here, tell you what. How much do you think it's worth?
The head or the potion?
The head.
Oh, the head. Well, given that I can make a potion of undead control, even if you don't want to buy it, a pretty penny. I'll tell you what. I'll swap you the potion of fire lizard control for the head evenly.
I was gonna say take the head as a bonus. But sure, absolutely. It was what, 300 gold for him a month? 100 gold for him a month?
You're asking me. Dang it. Let's see.
I'm trying to see if I have it written on my sheet, and the answer is no.
So your alchemist is it is 300 a month. Yes,
that is what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to write that down this time. All right, so I'm going to hand him 300 Somalians out of my pocket. Set those down. I'm going to hand him the white head. Set that down. So now I'm no longer using it as a sock pocket.
Yeah, he's a large set of calipers. He takes that and sets it on his workbench.
There was only a way I could have like an oil of speak with undead or something, or speak with dead or something. Like that'd be cool. But until then, take the head as a bonus because neither of us want that ability, and see if you can get us I don't know, something interesting for when I come back.
Bring me something interesting when you come back other than the white's head, and I think we can probably if it's a potion of fire resistance you want, basically, if you could bring me the fire gland and gullet from an actual fire breathing, salamander's testes. Have you fought a salamander?
Not yet. I know where one is.
Okay, all right. Well, if you can just tear those out, good luck. I need them both intact.
What would it take for a potion of golem control?
Great balls of fire.
The intervention of a god. There is no such thing as a potion of golem control.
Yeah, my god's not going to help there. Word. All right, well, I'll take the potion of fire lizard control and shake my head at it. You want it, Paladin?
Oh, sure.
All yours. Actually, correction. Give it to Turgo.
Okay, that's fine.
I will trust that he will know when to use it more than when Cork will.
My nice organized character sheet.
All right. Well, good day, sir. See you next month.
Best of luck. Have fun storming the castle, Greyhawk.
I'm going to walk out the front door and be like, anybody want a potion? No. I'm not. But if Robilar's still there, I will totally offer him the potion.
Jack Photon says, good question. How often do you see a big fire-belching lizard in a game called Dungeons and Big Fire-Belching Lizards?
But it's not a dragon. That's the thing. Like, fire lizard is very distinctly different from dragon. I can't control dragons with it.
Well, if there was one, he was probably not solitary.
I'm starting to feel like that dog that was shaking down Porky Pig in the one cartoon. Do you have a dragon? Do you know where you find a dragon? Shut up.
I don't need a dragon. I need its lesser cousin.
All right. Meeting back up at the Green Dragon Inn, which is just a name. You can't kill the sign and take it to the Alchemist.
But can we control this dragon?
Control.
We can control this entire bar.
Vince says, now you've set yourself up. It's time for Red Dragon. So I have to relate this. I was playing Skyrim. This has been a decade ago. This is when Oblivion came out. Whenever Skyrim came out. And it was really early on. And I walk up to a guard in Whiterun, and I'm wearing armor made out of dragon bones, and it triggers the dialogue. He says, dragon bone armor. Oh, I'd love to have a set of that. And a dragon literally starts attacking Whiterun right then. If games had the ability, I just take him by his shoulders and turn him around and say, there you go, son. Good luck.
It's literally been, I think, like 11 years since Skyrim came out or something stupid.
Yeah. And it's still a phenomenal game. But back to this game. Would boiling the tavern sign make you immune to being drunk? It would, but they would die of lead poisoning before they could appreciate it. 300 gold pieces is 30 pounds, converts to 43 cubic inches of space, if you're reading this right. That is correct, Jack.
Yep.
You can give the dwarf 18 charisma, but that doesn't mean he has social grace.
Nope.
Your alchemist took it in the best way possible. He's a funny little guy. He'll get over it. He'll bring me something useful. He's all right. You're all right, man. You know what? You're.
That was my nicest way of saying you do this again and you're fired.
All right. Hello, Mike Wilson Hart. Good to see you. Okay, so you are all back at Ye Old Inn. Nothing else of note has happened. What do you wish to do?
Roll some
Robilar still
dice.
there?
No, he's not.
Damn. Turgo,
Yes.
here's a potion of fire lizard control.
I can see this will be quite useful.
I'm glad you can. I currently want to. I currently want to drink it and see what happens. I think it's going to be about as much useful as a horde of the
It might
paladin over
actually
here.
be useful if you were to drink it. I'm interested to see what happens as well.
I feel like it'd probably make me constipated.
That's likely.
Probably.
But perhaps we could steal your testes and get something more useful.
Potion of dwarf control.
You weren't here for that conversation, but I will happily let you know that fire lizard that we found might actually be useful now.
Indeed.
Yep. So if that's what he can do with its balls, what can he do with the rest of it?
Oh, you mean to get a potion of fire resistance?
No, I mean, what can he do with the rest of with the rest of the salamander?
Oh, with the rest of the that's probably all he could really make a potion out of.
That's fair.
Maybe some nice ribs, a couple chops.
Can you imagine what like salamander boots would be like though?
Sphincter says what?
Nice try. Salamander skin boots though would be cool. All right, gents.
Let's go back to House Greyhawk.
Yeah, let's go back to Castle Greyhawk and fight something the monk can't fight. Because that salamander would be a bad idea.
The monk can continue to stay in the back and be I'm helping a lot, and then get a lot of experience points.
It sounds like a lot like the useless wizard, but even less useful.
I'm working on making sure I always have characters that just stay in the background going, I'm helping, and get a lot of experience points.
But the wizard could at least cast sleep.
Yeah.
I don't think you even had sleep. All right. Yeah, let's head on out, and we can decide what we want to do from there. Because I don't even know at this point. I really don't.
Isn't there that elevator?
Yeah, but are we going to take the monk down to level 3? Like, really?
Bring him.
But he's going to touch a vase and die.
It happens.
That's the wrong holy
When you
man.
guys touch the vase? Come on.
No, but if he had touched the vase...
My mother always told me to be careful about touching vases, strange vases. So.
If you sit in a chair, you'll die.
It sounds like basically, if you're in Castle Greyhawk, do not touch or sit anywhere. It's like
Right.
keep your hands inside the tram at all times.
And just picture like Frank Doubleday, who was in Escape from New York. Touch me, he dies. If you're not in the air in 30 seconds, he dies. You come back in here again, he dies.
There's a
That's
scene
what
like that
Castle
in
Greyhawk
John
says.
Wick.
That's what Castle Greyhawk says all the time.
Yeah. Escape from Castle Greyhawk. They're just like I said, Frank Doubleday coming out with the spiked up hair and the filed down teeth. All right. So nothing actually costs you your 2-day journey to Castle Greyhawk. Nothing untowards comes
Okay.
romping out of the woods to try and eat you guys. What do? Whither goest thou?
There
Go to
wasn't...
the elevator, you said?
Yeah, I can't think of anything around the cistern that was left. So
we've never found any way from the cistern area down further or out further, right?
Correct. Well,
There's ways to. Sorry, go.
The Hobgoblin lair had a way out.
Yeah.
But not a way down.
And the bandits know of ways down, but they're blocked off.
And they presumably have other ways out.
Yeah, and the orc area is still walled up.
Correct. And without me having like soften earth and stone or something, that's not gonna.
Then let's the towers. You've told me, Tales, that one tower has some sort of fiery furnace,
One has definitely a salamander in it. Yeah.
and the other.
According to previous schmucks who are now all dead.
That's right. No characters were alive.
Correct. So on my third hand account, literally.
Leo and Nerm were there. They know everything.
Yes, and that's why it's third hand. There's some big iron lady that one of somebody told them about, and that's why they weren't going in there.
Okay.
I don't know of anything specifically in that regard. I mean, we can go and have a look.
Another I thought. Sorry, go.
Brother Isan, I insist.
The other interesting I thought is the tower that has the elevator in it. Is there any way to go up? Are there any windows in it? We've been at the first floor and gone down. Is there a way to go up?
Not that we've seen, no.
Not that we've seen. However, it does sound like we have the ability perhaps to slay this salamander.
With a monk that can't punch it.
But we have me.
That can't hit worth.
Really?
I mean, it's true.
Is it?
Your sword, your magical ice sword of iciness, right?
My magical,
Misses
magical sword of damaging fire using indwelling creatures, perhaps.
Correct, but it misses all the time. You stabbed. I've seen you fight enough to know that your dagger stabs a lot of things. I don't know why it is.
Perhaps I'll just sheath this sword and use the dagger alone. Of course, I will have to stay in the second rank.
Maybe if you switch hands, like, do a Marazzo thing and.
Oh my God! Let's just go kill something.
About time the paladin speaks up. As the holy warrior, I would expect you to lead this group naturally.
All right, paladin, elevator or salamander?
Let's try the salamander. What the heck?
Just as a heads up, the salamander did have a golem friend.
He did? What kind of golem?
I do not know. All I know is it was big and metal, and it nearly rendered somebody, I think me, to paste.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to live forever?
No.
Not as a paladin.
I think there's a recruitment line for paladins in the Greyhawk suicide hotline.
Okay. Elevator, salamander.
Probably elevator then.
Okay.
We've cleared level 2.
We've cleared a level?
I think we've done.
Mark is asking. I don't remember that at all, but sure.
Well, we've explored almost all of level 2, haven't we?
Have you?
Mark's the one with the map. I can't map to save my soul.
And my character doesn't have that map anymore. But no, there was a whole bunch of stuff past Tamaskar's temple that had happened. We didn't go down. There was a mirrored maze that we literally walked in, went nope, and walked back out. If you go up north, there was like a cluster of doors with an ooze that killed one of Lord Corion's characters.
Yeah, let's go that way. Why not?
And there was doors there that hadn't been opened. We had never gone anywhere south yet. Things like that. There's lots of stuff down there.
All right, let's go. Let's go to level 2 then. Why not? Let's do it systematically.
And when we get into the elevator, Brother Ishan will carefully look if there's buttons that appear to be going up.
No, there are not.
Over the log and through the courtyard and into a tower. Do we see any pamphlets on the desk?
Oh, pamphlets on the desk. The pamphlets on the desk say, welcome to Castle Greyhawk. We're sure you'll find eternal rest here. And there's what look very well drawn, comfortable looking beds. But the closer you look at them, the more you realize that all the figures on them are you guys. And they're all wearing funeral shrouds.
Tasty.
Well,
I'm
at
going
least
to take the chair, prop open the door like always.
Okay. Oh, you're touching the chair? I'm just kidding.
That worked the other 5 times. You can't pull it the 7th.
But the 6th time, we
Yeah.
didn't touch the chair.
Every 6 times, yellow mold.
The floor behind it was trapped. We didn't look for that. All right. So you're going down the elevator.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Yes, the girl from Ipanema.
Did you see that cutscene for episode 6 with Vader and Luke in the elevator?
I have not. No.
You should watch that.
Okay. The door is open. And at the far end of the, it's at the far end of the gallery as you guys, you hear as light pours out, you are not surprised, any of you, there's a croaking sound. And hoving into view are 4 giant toads. Brock, Brock, Brock. What is Cork doing?
Oh gosh. All right. Well,
Are you going to
draw my
leap into
sword, get
action?
ready to hack. I'm going to charge the toads.
Oh, you charge with a capital C?
Oh yeah.
Okay, what is Brother Ishan doing?
Brother Ishan will get out of the elevator and move to one side so he can get a shot. Hopefully not hitting any of his friends in combat.
Okay. Outlier, what are you doing?
Casting Speak with Animals.
Okay. Tergo, what is Doom Sword and what is your man at arms Darwash doing?
Darwesh to the front. How far away are they?
They're let's see, they're just inside the eastern door.
Right, within combat range, basically.
No, they are not within combat range.
Yeah, I'll just order Darwesh ahead, and I'll make my way to the opposite side of where Brother Isan went, and move forward toward the toads.
Okay, Darwish advances normally. Cork, execute your charge. You gain +2 to hit.
Okay. I guess I wouldn't know you're going to cast that spell, so
Nope. And I wouldn't know you were going to charge. So it's
this
just
is true.
Yep.
Leroy Jenkins, all that stuff.
Yeah. That would be a 14.
That is a 14. Toad armor classes. Okay. So as you are doing that, one of them, you kind of meet it halfway, but the others are leaping forward. You hit it, I believe. You're a Paladin 3, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you rolled a total of 11?
Yeah, well, 14 total.
Oh, a total of 14. That will almost certainly hit. So go ahead and roll some damage.
Is it a large creature or medium?
They are actually mediums despite their name of giant.
I mean, they're giant for a toad.
Yeah.
Nine
Gargantuan.
total. Yeah, for a toad. 9 total.
All right.
Did y'all see that video of a mud crab I posted in Discord the other day?
No.
I did not know.
No, it's literally like it's like the smallest size of giant crab in D&D. It's literally like over a foot across. It was,
Whoa.
dear God. Yeah, it's like, oh, so that's what a giant crab looks like. I didn't realize crabs could get that big.
You pretty much run it through nose to tail, but it's still twitching and thrashing and trying to bite you. The others are leaping to the attack, so let's go ahead and roll initiative. Mark, why don't you go ahead and roll initiative for the side?
I rolled a 5.
They rolled a 1, so any missile fire may go at them as they are leaping towards you.
I rolled a 7, so never mind.
Twang clatter. Let's see. The others, one lands in front of TK, one lands in front of Turgo, and one lands in front of Darwesh. So they actually, because of their nature, they do get to attack at the end of their leaping movement, which carries them all at you.
-2.
I'm sorry, you're what?
My armor class, -2.
Yes. So you are missed, Darwesh. Darwesh is struck. This one lands in front of him, and you just hear this meaty 200-mile-an-hour smack from the thing's tongue, and it bowls Darwesh over. He's going to take some damage, obviously. So Darwesh is battered for a paltry 3 points of damage, and the last one is sticking its tongue out at Turgo, thusly, that. You, however, are no fool, and you move out of the way before the frog manages to connect with you. Meanwhile, the one that's kind of struggling on the end of your sword, trying to get you,
AC 2.
Oh yeah, you're holding this thing off. It's not doing anything. Okay, new round. Four toads melee against the party. Baron, is Cork attacking?
Is that one on my sword still?
Yes, it's still alive.
All right. Well, we'll finish that one off.
Okay. Mark, Brother Ishan can see that the frogs are all now in melee. If you fire into it, there's a chance a pretty good chance actually, because these things are only like, the size of a settee. They're not person sized. What is Brother Ishan going to do?
I'll close on the one, maybe the one that was at Darwesh, and punch a toad.
I want to see you hit. I want to see you hit and do max damage on a karate chop against the toad.
That's still just 4 points of damage.
Either way.
There, I just drop.
Do you have a strength bonus?
No, monks don't get strength bonus. I also don't have one, but monks don't get it.
Wow.
However, if I hit well enough, I could stun or even kill it.
That's fair.
Okay, is outlier? It did
5
not.
segment casting time on the spell.
So yeah, at the end of the round, your spell is now in effect. You can speak with animals. Turgo, what are you doing?
I'm dispatching the one in front of me.
Okay, TK, what are you saying to the? What are you going to say to the frogs in the next round?
Where'd y'all come from?
Rivet.
And what are you doing here?
Okay. All right. Let's roll initiative then. Mark, roll initiative, please.
Okay.
Let's stop.
This
all the
time I
violence.
rolled a 1.
This time you rolled a 1. The froggies will get their attacks. We'll start with against Cork. What is Cork's armor class, by the by?
2.
Oh, it's still 2. Okay. So no, it doesn't manage to get you. Brother Ishan. That actually got Brother Ishan.
Of course, I've got like no armor class.
You have a 9. Come on.
Yeah.
That's one better than the worst.
Yep.
That's a mere 2 points of damage. A 1 and a 1.
I mean, the Ring of Protection helps, right?
I don't have the ring of protection.
Wait, why didn't you give the monk the Ring of Protection?
He never asked for it, for one.
Yeah, Brother Ishan's like trying to punch a toad. He's like, "Can we talk about this later?"
That's not Sir Outlier. Oh, and that's actually a hit on Turgo. Turgo takes. That is 2. That is 4. 4 points.
Die.
Parlay with the giant toads, please.
Yep. Let's. And I guess
And
I can.
who are you and where did you come from?
Who are you? Where'd you come from? Let's stop all this violence. And I'm gonna repeat the "Let's stop all this violence" to my friends as well.
Okay, so you have a high enough charisma, even though you're a person.
Yeah.
They croak out that they came from a muddy hole. They are hungry.
Cool. I can help with the hungry part. You don't have to eat us to do that. I can help with that. But can you lead us to where your hole is? We might be able to, find something of interest for ourselves. You help me, I help you, kind of thing.
It just croaks. Nope, we eat you.
All right, I tried. Sword and head.
Okay. All right. So you'll be attacking in this round. I mean, parlay is not really a thing. I mean, it's not really a thing that takes an excessively long amount of time. So yeah. So sorry, I rolled an 0-2 on their reaction roll. That's
Yep.
the frogs are not listening to reason. So everybody that's going to attack.
That's a dead frog.
Okay.
I've got
That's
does 11 damage kill it.
7.
What's their armor class?
Their armor class is rubbery. 11 damage does not kill it, by the way.
Wow. Okay. Wait, hold up. I can't math. Sorry, that was 13.
That does not kill it.
Okay.
All right. I rolled a 18 and then 7 damage.
That finishes that one off. Darwesh strikes one for some damage. Mark, I really want you to roundhouse kick one of these frogs.
Yeah. And so I rolled a 17, so I believe that would hit.
That does hit.
Probably not good enough to stun or kill it, but I did 1 point of damage. Woo! Punched the frog.
Norris effort.
Look.
I feel like the monk would punch it and go, ugh!
Spladge.
I've trained against other people. I don't know where to punch a frog. Like punch a bear.
Now you're going to
Jab
get
it
warts.
in the eyes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get warts. I have to be careful.
Right.
1 point of damage. Womp womp.
Okay. It
I
croaks.
suppose I'll make my attack, huh?
Yes, please.
Everybody else is done. Man, that looks kind of small. That's that's AC 8 and AC 10.
Neither of those will hit.
All right.
All right. The frogs are trying to get out of here with a lunch, so let's roll initiative, and I think we're over to TK.
Sure. If the party feels any better, that's a 6. I have augury as well today, so because I bring my camp spells the first day we go into the dungeon.
Okay, that is a 1. It rolled a 1 for initiative. So you guys will go first. Open hand strikes go first, so Mark.
I rolled a 14. That would hit, I think, a AC of 7. Is that good enough?
Just kind of slides off, which like you're not focusing your key enough. You're slime and not 2 inches beyond the slime.
Someday I will do damage. I'm working.
All right. Oh, Baron, are you moving back across the room now to fight the ones that your friends are fighting?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what you're doing in this round.
Yeah.
TK,
I hit AC 3 for 13 again.
then you destroy it. So there are 2 giant toads left. One is fighting Darwish, one is fighting Turgo. Speaking of Turgo,
AC 13 and AC 18. I'm
Wrong
pointing
game.
at
Wrong-
Outlier because he cursed me.
Wrong game. Oh, unless you rolled like a 1 or a 2. Okay.
Turgo,
Yeah, like a 4 and a 1.
I'm sorry, Darwish misses. Unfortunately, Brother Ishan's key is going north and south, so my 2 froggies. That is a miss on Darwish. That might be another hit on Turgo. Let's see. Turgo's armor class is
3.
That is a hit on Turgo. He's giving you the tongue lashing of your life for 2 points of damage. Bleh. All right, next round of Mortal Frog Bat.
That 2 initiative.
A 2 for initiative, okay. That is a miss on Darwish and a miss on Turgo. You are now across the room, Cork. You can fight one of these things.
Sweet. I'll do the one on whatever's closer. Turgo, I don't know.
All right.
That's a nat 20. Dadgummit.
That will hit.
No, that's a dead frog.
Well,
You
I
decapitate.
don't guess a Vorpal Blade works on a frog, though.
I mean, it has a head.
It has a head.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Don't get ahead of yourself.
That's it. It's
plop, you decapitate the
Okay.
giant the giant frog, and it
awesome.
frogs no more. It croaks.
Awesome.
I know we say it constantly, but it really does.
And that's probably why Brother Ishan missed, because he was aiming at the head, and the head's not there anymore. So
Exactly. Like you strike the things back, and its head falls off, and you're like,
wow.
It's like, I can do it.
I did it with my hand.
Does anyone kill the other frog?
I hit AC 4 for 13 again. That's the third 3 for damage I rolled on a D8.
Okay. That should be the end of it. Yes, that is the end of it. There are no more giant frogs. They are dead. All of them. Oh, good evening, Miss Bella Games. Good to see you. You're just in time for the conclusion of the frog battle.
Where
They
did
gave
these
us a
frogs
real
come
tongue lashing.
Shall we move along?
May
from?
as
Do
well.
frogs have treasure?
I mean,
Toads.
how much do you
Sorry,
like?
toads?
No, they're not in a lair or anything. They didn't appear to be guarding anything. They were just at the end of the room.
I'll cut off their legs.
I suppose we could cut them open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll slice open the guts and see if they had anything.
Nope, just frog guts.
I will
Potion
take the
frog
legs.
control? Let's take the legs.
Yeah. At least it's 1 day's free food.
So,
Frog,
which
all
way
right.
do we go from here?
I guess south.
Yeah, south. We haven't been
Sounds
south,
good to me.
apparently.
So, all right, Turgo, you lead. The Paladin and I'll follow. Monk will come up. Oh, and Turgo,
Yes,
you have a ring.
indeed I do.
I believe that ring would be better in the monk's hands.
And why is this?
Because you, my good sir, are anointed in armor from head to toe. That monk is anointed in a robe of shame.
Now.
This is true. It does, however, help me prevent damage from traps
Yeah.
and types of things where physical attributes are necessary.
I
However,
think it's better for...
if it's better suited to the monk, and we can trust him, I shall defer to the party's judgment.
You can trust me, but you should have it.
If the monk doesn't want, if the monk doesn't want it, I'm not going to force it on him.
Chump don't want to help. Chump don't get to help.
Yeah, really.
I have a feeling he doesn't want anything.
Yeah, it's
He is a
also
holy
valid.
man and humble.
But if he gets his head caved in, he's not going to do us any good.
I would feel bad about such an event.
For a moment.
For a second.
What thinks the rest of you?
Yeah.
I say give him the ring, but
if he doesn't want it, then, he doesn't want it.
Very well.
The ring is already yours. You keep it. If there is some other magical ring that is found later that is of use, then maybe I keep it. But that is yours. You should not give.
Fair enough.
who knew the ancillary effect of the ring would be the reason you'd use it?
Your humility knows no bounds, fair monk. I shall remember that.
All right. Well, then south we go. Once again, you lead the way, and the paladin and I'll follow, and Darwesh and the monk will bring up the rear.
Is your dog with us?
He wasn't in the fight with the toads, but I'd like him to be.
I mean, I'm assuming he's with you, and that unless you say you're turning him loose, he does not.
Okay, yeah, then that's fine. I'll have him with me because that'll leave Leo and Nurum up at the longhouse. Because we got to bring.
Son,
Yep, go ahead.
Yes.
your attitude and selflessness have left me such that I feel you should have this. And I'll hand him a potion of healing.
I will keep it for when it is needed by anyone in the party. He puts it in his pouch.
It may be needed by you.
He won't be alive to use it.
Yeah. Thank you. I will keep it safeguarded for when the need arises.
Okay.
I like you. Stay alive.
Where are you headed?
He's going to feel sorry for the first monster we hit and then give him the potion.
Yeah, I'm going to give him the potion.
Third time, DM. South.
South.
South. Okay.
Yes.
God, I did that like an American. There we go. Third time, DM. South.
Okay. So you turn right as you exit in the lower eastern corner of the room. You're looking down the hallway. You have 20 feet of hallway. You have a four-way intersection. 10 feet after that, what looks like another four-way intersection.
All right.
Head off to the right.
Yep. So that'll be west on the map, right?
So that room to the west is where you fought some giant spiders before, or a giant spider.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that one.
And
yeah,
then
and we cleared that out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then to the east led to that jar.
Vase.
Yeah.
Yes. Do
Well,
you go back to the east and up that hall?
Yeah, so the east still
Yeah.
had a passageway leading out of it, because I remember we touched the thing or whatever and
And then
hauled
had the
ass.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so we may as well continue that way. If that's
Why are
cool
you
with
dragging
everybody.
donkeys through the dungeon, Turgo?
Donkeys?
You were hauling asses.
Oh,
Get out.
yeah,
Hey, we have to keep this censored for YouTube, right?
I ain't swearing on this thing. Not this
Exactly.
game.
I'm clarifying.
So, moving to the east and going to the northeast up the angled corridor, there's the room, much as you left it before. There is a white marble plinth and a beautiful obsidian vase perched atop it.
Did we search the plinth? I can't remember.
Yes,
I
we
don't
did.
think so.
I don't remember
Did we?
either. Would you
There
like
was-
to approach the plinth and search it?
Well, provided we don't touch the vase, I see no harm in that, right? I think I can't remember. I'll look over it. Carefully.
Turgo didn't search it. I did.
Oh, okay, you did.
So, but you have a means of detection that a dwarf with their standard stonework does not.
Right. I'll stoop down to the level just below the top of the plinth and walk around it, maintaining a distance of about 1.5 feet, eyeing it carefully with my expert half-elven vision.
It is a piece of gorgeous cut and fit and polished obsidian, just as it looked before, although there's no dust on it this time, almost as if it had been handled recently.
And I didn't happen to detect any secret doors or anything like that by virtue of being near it.
Nope.
Okay. I suggest we stay away.
Yep.
Is this the vase you were telling me about?
Yep.
Yeah, if you feel like grabbing it, first, I would suggest that maintaining that potion in your left hand.
And drinking it at the same time.
And wait till we're out of here.
I'm not touching it.
We wouldn't have to pay your burial expenses.
I'm already in the urn. It's fine.
I believe we should proceed.
Yeah, let's keep going. All right.
Okay, so you turn around, you leave that room. Nobody wants to touch the vase, I'm assuming. You're back at the four-way intersection. And again, 10 feet to the south, you have another four-way intersection. Although its southern arm angles away to the southwest. You can see that. So which way are you going? Are you going left, right, or rather, are you going to the next intersection or what?
Next intersection, hang right.
Right.
Okay. So to the right, this is a corridor that goes 40 feet and terminates in a large wooden door with an iron pull ring on the right-hand side as you look at it. It looks like it swings out into the hallway when it's opened.
All right, I'll go ahead and sheath my weapons. I'll signal back to the remainder of the party, wait until the radius of their light approaches so they know I'm not moving any further forward, and I'll pull out my collapsible pole, extract it, and prod the floor in front of the door.
Okay. You're tapping in front of the door. Doesn't seem to be anything of note. You don't detect any traps.
I'll poke the door.
Thunk, thunk.
All right. Yeah, I'll put away the pole and leave myself with no items in my hand and approach the door.
Okay.
At this
I'll
point, we're
run my
behind
hand
you.
over it. Yeah, I would assume. I'll run my hand over the door. It seems like plain wood.
Yes, it seems to be ordinary, oak or something like that.
I'll attempt to listen at it, if that's all right with everybody.
Yep,
All right.
I'll fish out my bill hook.
Remind me again, what is your hear noise?
That is 25.
No, you don't hear anything. Silent as the grave.
All right, looking around the edge of the threshold, does it appear that this door might be stuck? Can I tell anything about that? Like, is there some sort of mold growing around it or something?
There's no mold growing around it or anything like that, but it does appear to be tightly shut, like most dungeon doors you've encountered here in the castle thus far.
All right, I'll
I'm
take
gonna
a step back
detect
toward
evil
Outlier.
in the direction of that door.
You do not detect evil.
I will go ahead and open the door with a roll of a 1 on my d6, and using my bill since it opens inward because the architect was a fool.
Okay. Hey man, take it up with Zagig.
Well, as an architect, all doors should open into the room, not.
Take it up with Zagig. Anyway.
Yep.
You drag the door open. It is so the room is basically 30 feet deep, and you can see that it goes 40 feet to the north from where you're standing. The more notable features are the horrific sour smell coming from here, the heaps of sticks and branches and broken furniture and hides and things thrown over those heaps, and the 4 trolls that are standing in the room arguing, who stop and look at you, and one of them licks its yellow, rotten, stumpy teeth and says something in troll to the others, and they all begin to chuckle evilly. They are in the middle of the room, so they are about 30 feet from where you're at. What does Cork wish to do?
Shut the door.
What? Shut the door?
The door.
Okay.
Shut the door.
Shut the door.
Shut the door.
All right. Cork, you're moving. What are you doing, Cork? I'm not going to put words in your mouth.
I'm going to shut the door.
All right. What is Brother Ishan doing?
Shutting the door sounds like a great plan, so he will stay out of the way and allow the door to be shut.
Outlier, you've got your hand on the door. What are you doing?
Casting warding.
All right. What is the casting time on Glyph of Warding?
Segment per 5-foot section.
I'm sorry. How long?
1 segment per 5-foot section.
Per 5-foot section. Okay. All right. What is Turgo doing, and what do you have Darawesh doing?
Darwesh, stay with me. We may need to find a new adventuring party.
I will stand with you.
These
Besides,
have no sack.
If we can fight the trolls 1v1, it's good.
If you want, we can close the door with you on the other side.
Yeah, we could.
Hey.
I mean-
You're a mouthy monk, aren't you? Hey, give me that potion.
Would you rather
What
fight
potion?
4 trolls as 4v4? I don't think so. No.
Yeah, we got 4v5. But enough talk.
Vince points out the monk can run very fast. Remember, the monk doesn't have to outrun the monsters. He just has to outrun you guys. Okay. Doomsword, did you roll initiative last?
I did.
Baron, roll initiative, please.
Alrighty.
Please roll high.
3.
All right. 50-50 odds. 50-50 odds. Come on. Daddy needs a new bunch of dead adventurers. It is a tie. You are dragging on the door as the trolls are running across it, as basically all you have to do is slam that door back shut, and the trolls have to move. It slams shut, and you can hear them beating on it with their great fists already. Outlier, you are casting Glyph of Warding what?
What do you mean, what?
Glyph of Warding ice, Glyph of Warding electricity.
Oh, I thought it did electricity damage, period. Like, that was all it did. That was what the spell seemed. If I can change the energy type, I will happily take fire damage. Oh, wait, here it is. Yeah, will explode for an amount of fire damage. There we go.
Yes.
Okay, 2 points per level. So yeah, absolutely. Fire damage, and I'm a 5th level cleric, so at least it's 10 points of fire to one of them.
All right, and it is going to be a maximum of 5 feet by 5 feet area level can be warded. Casting time, let's see.
1 segment per 5 foot is
One
what I
segment
see here.
5 foot. So they are beating on the door, attempting to open it, but they basically moved in this round to the door. So they will spend a while pounding on the door as you are casting this, and you hear them cackling and glibbering as they're beating on the door. And that is where we will pick it up next week, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoyed the game. Next week, we will have miniatures and terrain out, so you don't want to miss that. I will have some Dwarven Forge, some lovely hand-painted miniatures, and they'll all need new ones. But I mean, they could possibly need new ones. But all kidding aside, I want to thank my audience. Thank you, Jeremy, for the super tonight. I appreciate that. Of course, my players, Baron Von Headbangers, Cork, Mark as Brother Ishan, TK as Sir Outlier, and I absolutely appreciate it. Bella, you got to come back next week. You got to come back and find out what happens. Wenger says, be thankful there's no drums in the deep. Drums in the deep. We cannot get out. Hopefully it's the opposite. They cannot get out. But yeah, so we'll be back now tomorrow night. We're going to be playing the last of the Classic Traveler, and then Kyle's going to run a different game for us, and TK will be in the Classic Traveler game. I'm presuming you're going to stick around for whatever he runs after that, but if not, I completely understand.
Should be.
And as I said, Stephen from Gripnir is going to be here for an interview on Thursday. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to talk a lot about that when I drop a little info news video tomorrow, all positive stuff. And then Friday night, of course, we will be back for some more RPG talk and fun, little preamble ramble. And then at 9:00, we're back to Gamma World, which Doomsword will join us for as Numbers Rab. Vince says 2 hours is too short. I understand, my guy, but hey, can't do the marathon sessions every game. So, but until then, everybody, thank you for being here. It's always fun. We had a great audience tonight, and again, spread the word, folks. Spread the word. When this channel hits 5,000 subs, we're having a giveaway, a set of AD&D books and an OD&D omnibus. So you don't want to miss that. So get the word out there, and we'll make that happen. Until then, everybody, have an absolutely wonderful evening, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. Now I think we're gonna relax and fade on out of here with some Owl Bear.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to